Right now at 7, 3 people are shot in Oak Cliff, and now Dallas police are looking for answers. Plus, dozens are hurt after a floor collapses at an apartment complex near Clemson University. We'll have the latest on the situation. And the National Soccer Hall of Fame opens in Frisco, what it means to the area.
Live from Dallas and Fort Worth, this is CBS 11 News Sunday morning, the ones for Texas.
Good morning and welcome to CBS 11 News this morning at 7. I'm Madison Sawyer. Jennifer Migrant has the day off. We will begin with some breaking news in Dallas, where I-20 westbound is shut down. It was shut down just a few minutes ago at Mountain Creek Parkway. This is again the westbound direction of I-20. You can see the backup there on the TxDOT camera in the area. There's no word yet on exactly what happened. We do have a crew on the way to the scene, and we'll bring you more information as it becomes available. And it is shaping up to be a nice fall day across North Texas. Meteorologist Jeff Ray joins us with a first look at the forecast. Jeff, we finally saw the sun yesterday. What's in store for us today?
Yeah, more sun, Madison. We're going to get spoiled. It's going to be a great weekend. Today's even better day than yesterday. We wake up this morning with hardly any cloud cover going on. There is a little bit of fog down in the river valleys and in the creek beds, but otherwise it's just a cool start. Temperatures at 43 in Graham, 46 in Bowie, 50 degrees or so around the Metroplex or upper 40s. It's the last day of the fair. It's going to be a beautiful day on the Midway as temperatures will warm up into the mid-60s by 2 o'clock with all this sunshine. We're going to be talking about rain again. Yeah, it's a couple of days away, but it is in the forecast. More about that coming up in the full forecast in just a few minutes, Madison.
Thank you, Jeff. New this morning, 3 people are in the hospital after a shooting in Oak Cliff. The shooting happened around 1:30 this morning in the 5000 block of Darlene Street. Police say 2 men and a woman were shot. They were taken to a nearby hospital where one of them is in critical condition. Police say all of the shooters are in custody and are being questioned along with the witnesses. No word yet on what led up to the shooting. And happening now, a manhunt is underway in Snellville, Georgia, after a police officer was shot and killed in the line of duty. Officer Antoine Toney responded to a suspicious vehicle call near middle school Saturday afternoon. Police say when Officer Toney approached the car, someone in the car shot him and then drove off. A short time later, the suspects, who were both teenagers, were involved in a crash and ran from the scene. Police did capture 1 teen and are still looking for the second teen. Officer Toney was taken to a nearby hospital where he died. He had been with the department for 3 years. And at least 30 people were hurt when the floor of an apartment clubhouse collapsed during a party in Clemson, South Carolina. Police say the building's first floor collapsed into the basement as partygoers were dancing. At least 9 people are in critical condition, and the apartment complex is near Clemson University, but no word yet if students were involved. The property management says the apartment building was built in 2004. And friends of Washington Post journalist are demanding that authorities turn over his body so that they can have a funeral. A human rights group is also asking for Jamal Khashoggi's remains so they can do an independent autopsy. The Saudi government said the U.S.-based journalist died after a fight in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. President Trump said that he is considering sanctions against Saudi Arabia. The president also talked about Russia.
We're not going to let them violate a nuclear agreement and go out and do weapons, and we're not allowed to. We're the ones that have stayed in the agreement, and we've honored the agreement, but Russia has not, unfortunately, honored the agreement.
President Trump says the U.S. will pull out of the decades-old nuclear arms treaty with Russia, saying Russia has been violating it for years. National Security Advisor John Bolton is expected to talk about the treaty with Russian officials next week. And thousands of Central American migrants who are trying to get into the U.S. are still blocked at Mexico's southern border. A number of women and children were allowed through Saturday, while others found their own way to cross the border. Adriana Diaz is there.
This is the latest stop on a risky journey to a new future, or at least the hope of one. Countless migrants, mostly from Honduras, slept overnight on this bridge that stretches from Guatemala to Mexico. On Friday, the massive group tore down a fence, allowing some people to stream through. Their reasons are clear. According to this Honduran migrant, he said there's hunger, corruption, insecurity, and uncertainty. That's forcing Hondurans to leave our country because we can't live there anymore. Mexico is processing some women and children for entry. But today, others avoided the mostly deadlocked bridge by going under it. They used makeshift boats, little more than inner tubes and plywood. 17-year-old Jimmy Aron Hernandez was one of them.
How old are you? ¿Cuántos años tienes?
¿Cuántos años tienes?
17. 17, 17. ¿A dónde quieres ir? Where do you want to go?
Estados Unidos.
To the United States. Why? ¿Por qué?
Porque quiero hacer una nueva vida, sacar a mi familia adelante.
You want to start a new life and help your family move forward. The few people who have the proper paperwork, who have passports, who have visas, will be allowed into Mexico. The others, there he goes. He just jumped. And he's swimming. The water where he is pretty shallow. But there are parts of this river where the water reaches chest deep or deeper. It is dangerous to jump. But this is what a lot of people are resorting to in order to get to Mexico any way they can.
Federal police were there to keep order, but not stop illegal crossings. Further south in Guatemala, police tried to create a blockade, but this truck tore through it, helping migrants join the caravan.
Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Hidalgo, Mexico.
Now to campaign 2018. The 32nd Congressional District is one of the most hotly contested races in the state. Incumbent Pete Sessions and his challenger, Colin Allred, are set to debate tonight in Dallas. Both men are expected to face questions on everything from foreign affairs to health insurance and even civility in government. And President Trump, Republican Senator Ted Cruz, and their supporters are preparing for a big rally in Houston tomorrow. Police are planning for and do expect protesters at the 18,000-seat Toyota Center. The Trump campaign says they moved the rally from a smaller arena due to demand. CBS 11 has learned Governor Greg Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick will also speak at the rally. Our political reporter Jack Fink will be in Houston for the rally tomorrow. Look for him right here on CBS 11 starting at 4 p.m. And early voting for the November general election kicks off tomorrow with polls opening at 7 a.m. Early voting ends Friday, November 2nd. Stay with CBS 11 for updates on air and online at cbsdfw.com for a series of reports on some of the key races, all leading up to Election Day on November 6th. And the Cowboys are in the nation's capital with a chance to take the lead in the NFC East Division if they can beat the Redskins. Keith Russell is on the road with the Cowboys.
Nothing is going to rain on the Cowboys parade this weekend. With one of the youngest rosters in the NFL, they may not be able to recite every chapter in the intense rivalry with Washington, but they do know one thing. Since Dak and Zeke entered the league, they haven't lost to the Redskins.
It's always a challenging game. So I'm looking forward to keeping that going. You know, I've been 4-0 versus the Redskins since I've been here. You know, entering my, here in my third season. So we just got to keep it rolling.
The Cowboys' biggest opponent coming into the game is not Washington. It's playing away from AT&T Stadium. Having yet to win on the road this season, they plan to change that.
You know, we have to play better regardless of what the circumstances are. You've heard me say it many times, home, road, parking lot, or moon, you got to play well. And we've been a team that's played fairly well on the road in the last few years, and we just have to do a better job of it.
I don't think it's a problem. Obviously, losing is a problem, whether it's at home or on the road. So, we don't really care where we play. We just focus on winning.
On a defense that doesn't appear to need any help appears to be on the way in the form of linebacker Sean Lee, who's missed the last few games with a hamstring injury.
Watching the entire defense, watching us step up, a lot of guys are playing some great football, some of their best, so it's fun to watch, and I'm glad to be part of it.
On Monday, the Cowboys head to the African American History Museum in D.C. But first things first, they plan to make history of their own on Sunday. In Alexandria, Virginia, Keith Russell, CBS 11 Sports.
And Cowboys game day is coming up in just about 20 minutes. Randy White joins Bill Jones in studio with Keith Russell live in D.C. with a preview of today's game. And Frisco is already home to the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star, the Dallas Stars hockey practice facility, and FC Dallas Soccer. But now the growing city in Collin County can add one more tourist attraction to the list, the National Soccer Hall of Fame. Jason Allen has the story.
The opening of soccer's Hall of Fame gives the sport something it hasn't had since 2010. That's when the sport's previous facility closed in New York. This weekend kicks off the celebration of putting the sport's best back in front of its fans. All the colorful kits, the faces, names, and numbers of American soccer's best are now part of the sport's new Hall of Fame home at Toyota Stadium in Frisco. Saturday, U.S. Soccer started the celebration by inducting members for the class of 2018. It will open to the public in 2 weeks to fans eager to see the players who were on the pitch in past generations.
We are very excited about it. We cannot wait to go in and see everything. We have how many kids that play soccer? We have 5 kids and 4 of them play soccer.
The Hall of Fame now takes its place in Frisco, next to the Dallas Cowboys Ford Center at the Star and the Dallas Stars headquarters, and elevates the city's status for sports fans coming from out of town.
For people like us from other parts of Texas, it makes it a destination. This is a place you want to come now.
The hall opens to the public November 2nd. In Frisco, Jason Allen, CBS 11 News.
And that hall is part of a $55 million renovation project at Toyota Stadium, where FC Dallas plays its home games. You can learn more about the hall, including a unique interactive experience at the hall during a CBS 11 sports special that airs tonight at 8 on our sister station TXA 21. And the Powerball jackpot continues to climb after no one got all the numbers correct in Saturday night's drawing. Wednesday's jackpot will be worth an estimated $620 million. The cash payout more than $354 million. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot has also skyrocketed to $1.6 billion, yes, with a B, dollars, after no one won Friday night. That is an all-time world record. The cash option for that, $904 million. Coming up, the results are in. The promising new treatment that boosts survival rates for a type of breast cancer that's hard to beat. Stay with us.